This entry was reconstructed from corrupted footage and fragmented field recordings. What you're about to hear was never meant to be found. Welcome to the Black Creek Archives. I'm not sure how much longer I can stay here. After the trees moved, after they formed that half circle outside my cabin, I thought I had seen the worst of it, that maybe the forest had done whatever it intended to do. But the real horror didn't come from the footsteps, or the scratching, or even the tapping on the roof. It came from something much quieter, something I didn't see at first, something that hid in places where light should have been safe. A shadow that wasn't mine. And I know that sounds impossible, but what happened next still makes my skin crawl. Night 1, the second shadow. The first time I noticed it, I wasn't scared. Not yet. I was sitting at my kitchen table, writing down everything I remembered from the night before. The trees leaning inward, the tapping above me, the symbol carved into the bark. The lamp on the table was the only light in the room. Behind me, the wall glowed a warm yellow. My shadow stretched across it. But then, something made me stop writing. My hand froze, because even after I set the pen down, my shadow didn't. It kept moving. Not much, just a faint, slow twitch of the fingers, but enough to know it wasn't mine. I turned around instantly, but the wall was empty, just smooth wood, no shadow at all. I convinced myself I had imagined it, that I was tired, stressed, seeing things in the flicker of the lamplight. But deep down, I knew the truth. Something else had been standing behind me, something that didn't want me to see it. Night 2. It stepped where I didn't. The next night, I woke around 2:17 a.m. By now, I should have expected it. But something about that minute, that exact time, always felt intentional. I walked into the living room to check the windows. The trees were still where they'd been that morning. Not closer, not farther. For once, nothing had moved. When I turned to go back to bed, I heard footsteps behind me. My blood turned cold. But the floor didn't creak, and the air didn't shift. And when I turned around, no one was there. I exhaled, shaken. Then I glanced at the floor, and that's when I saw it. 2 sets of footprints in the dust. One set led from the bedroom to the living room, my footprints. The others stood facing mine, as if something had been standing just inches away from me while I slept, watching, measuring, waiting. Night 3. The camera catches something. I set up a camera in the living room, not facing the windows this time, facing the interior walls. I wanted to know if the shadow came back, and it did. Around 3:04 a.m., the footage flickered. The image warped as if someone walked between the lens and the room. But no figure appeared, only the shadow. It stretched across the floor, long legs, long arms, a twisted torso. But no source. Nothing was casting it. Then the shadow reached the wall and stood there, completely still, facing the camera, until its head turned. Not like a natural movement, not like a person, but as if the head rotated from the center, the whole silhouette twisting unnaturally. Then the screen went black. When the recording resumed, the shadow was gone, but something was left behind. On the wall, a handprint, not human, too long, too thin, with an extra joint where no joint should be. My stomach turned. Whatever this thing was, it wasn't using my shadow. It was trying to learn how to. Night 4. The reflection, this was the night everything changed. I woke to a soft tapping, not on the roof, not on the door, on the mirror in the hallway. The tapping was rhythmic, deliberate, as if trying to get my attention. I crept toward the mirror slowly. My flashlight was shaking in my hand. The tapping stopped when I was just a few feet away. I raised the light, and what I saw, I'll never forget. My reflection was standing perfectly still, but the shadow behind it moved on its own. It rose upward, elongating, stretching across the ceiling, until it hovered over my reflected body, and then it leaned forward as if whispering into my reflection's ear. But I heard nothing, and then my reflection blinked, but I didn't. I stumbled back, slamming into the wall. My reflection didn't stumble, it just stared, and the shadow behind it tilted its head, matching the same angle I'd seen on the footage, an angle no human neck could make. I dropped the flashlight. The beam rolled across the floor. When I looked back at the mirror, both the shadow and the false reflection were gone. Only I remained, shaking, pale, terrified. The final discovery. They are learning. This morning, I checked the camera footage again. During the moment in the mirror, the audio captured something. A voice, not whispered, not shouted, but layered. Multiple tones at once, like a chorus of different versions of the same thing. The audio was distorted, warped, barely decipherable. But I understood enough. It said, "You brought the first one back, but we were already here." I don't know what that means. I don't know how many of them there are. I don't know if they're shadows, or entities, or something else entirely. All I know is that they're learning, they're watching, and tonight, I think one of them will try something new. If I make it through, I'll record entry number 05. If not, I hope someone finds these archives and believes them. If you've seen shadows that aren't your own, you're not alone. The darkness remembers. Subscribe to the Black Creek Archives before the next record disappears.